What's going on, Cancer? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and how you feeling? You feel, I feel like the moon's in Leo, and I think with the moon in Leo, this is a really I feel uplifting place for the moon. This is a sign that's ruled by the sun, and I was thinking about that relationship that kind of that Cancer and Leo get the luminaries as their rulers, and there's something about that moon in Leo when the moon's in the sun sign that just that has that solar support. I really enjoyed that. We'll get into that more in a moment, but before we do, if you're new here, again, my name is Justin, and know that when you're coming across this video, you're in sync with the moon, and she loves that. But also, this is a place for if you happen to have Cancer in your placements, sun, moon, rising, wherever. This one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads. Based on that lovely luminary, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void. Of course, it's all them lunar shenanigans. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, discard the rest, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Because I'm feeling energetic today, and of course I am, because it's looking at what day it is. And before I get into while I'm talking about that, I'll be shuffling for your general energy. But depending on when you're watching this, happy Mars Day. And actually, Mars and I, I'm looking at Mars some kind of way. Mars is associated with Tuesdays, and Mars is a great day. I feel like, just on a basic level, a great time for just a call to action. Anything that requires any sort of extra energy or anything like that. Thanks, Spirit. Whether it be, one of my workout days is Mars days. And even if I'm on those non-Mars days, I try to hit them as close to the Mars hour. If I can get it within the Mars hour, that's dope. That's ultimately what I try to aim for there. But, working with the Mars days now, those can really provide a lot of extra action. Or if you're anything that's needing more kind of just oomph, Mars is there for that. And, one thing that I like to think too about these days is, what is your relationship with Mars? How do you deal with, whenever we're in these different planetary days, but what is your relationship with Mars? How do you deal with Mars transits? Mars is now in his sign of fall, retrograde, and Cancer, so he's just acting any which way. And then how's your Mars placement? Do you have a day versus a night chart? Because in a day chart, like myself, Mars is tricky. And the more that I'm tuning into Mars and really been kind of understanding that Martian energy, it's been helpful. But yeah, I really see where Mars will get you into some trouble sometimes if you're not mindful. But in a night chart, Mars you can work very constructively with. So it really just depends on what's going on. So work with them energies, form that relationship with them. Understand the higher and lower expressions of the planet so that you don't get caught off guard. And you just see everything that you're working with. So just some things to think about there. But enough about Mars. I'm not giving them that much time. But let's talk about the moon. Because on the 14th of January, at about 1:12 a.m. it's going to be early one, and that's Pacific time, the moon is going to be entering into Leo, and we're going to be entering into the waning gibbous phase now. So now we're on the reflective half of the moon sign of the lunar cycle. And the waning gibbous time is the time of just conveying awareness. It's okay, this is what I learned. We reached a peak point here, and this is what I got from that. These are the positive things and not so positive things, and this is what I'll do with that information going forward. But it is a time of just more awareness. Now things are less of a there's less certainty. We got all the light that we did and a lot of the insights we got from that full moon in Cancer. And one thing that, now let's talk about, Leo energy. Leo is, like I said, ruled by the sun. And Leo is that fixed fire sign, masculine in nature, so they have that active energy that goes with them. And the fire is about that will, that sense of spirit, that thing that just drives you, that just kind of fills your cup, that creative force. And what I find with Leo being the fixed sign that can hold that creative force, Leo's like an oven. You got to pay attention to what you're putting in that oven and how you're fueling that oven, because that matters. And I find that this is a great time for the moon because this is where she's feeling a little bit lighter now. I feel like after she's been feeling a lot in Cancer, but now here she's able to focus on the kind of the more positive things that she got for Cancer and kind of nurturing those things going forward, and then and then when we get into Virgo, we put them into practical application. But I just something about the moon in Leo does. And if you've ever just been in a room, I was thinking about this the other day. There was a place I used to work at, and there was me and this other Leo rising that worked there, and there was some music going on. We were both just kind of cutting up, but we were both on like kind of opposite ends of or in different parts of the building. And one person was there, just like, wow, you got one person dancing over here, you're dancing over here, and I was just like, but I thought to myself, it's just like, that's that Leo energy. You got to keep. And my response was, you got to keep the vibe up, and that's what Leo does. Leo likes to keep the light going. Doesn't like to feel dark. Doesn't like to get into those kind of things. And then not that it's ignoring it, but it's just like, how do we raise that up? How do we shine light on that darkness and kind of shed some of that stuff off there? And I think that's why I like the moon in Leo. It just can help you to recalibrate, maybe if you've been noticing that you've been fueling a certain emotion a certain type of way, or you can do kind of change up how you've been doing things a little bit there. So, and it brings just a life to the moon that is really pleasant, that I find. And I've even noticed with people who have their moon in Leos, there's something playful there. There's something really delightful and very pleasant that I find with this Leo moons in general. So just some things to kind of think about there as we get into this moon in Leo. And if you're wanting to work more intentionally with these lunations and to understand how the moon works in your chart, because maybe this could be, because for me, when the moon's in Leo, this is dope. she's about to hit up all my Leo placements. I'm with it. But this, maybe if you happen to have maybe a lot of fixed placements outside of Leo, like maybe you have Scorpio or Taurus placements, or even like Aquarius placements, this may not feel as maybe as ideal as if you had like fire placements, like maybe like a Sag or an Aries, or even like Gemini and Libra. That's where that energy feels a lot easier to flow there. So, but if you wanted to get more, learn more about that, avail yourself of that. It's down in the description box below. I got all that stuff down there for you there. But let's go ahead and switch over. And then last couple things here. These readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And I'm going to ring this bell to bring some good vibes here. Keep raising that vibration. Okay, hold on. Let me bring it down a little bit. But let's get into this thing. All right, let's see what's going on here. Ooh, I like this for this lunation. That's dope. So you have the relaxation card here. And this is a card of peaceful pursuits and happy times. And I find that Leo is one too that does have that just Leo energy, just again in general, I feel they have this way of, how do I want to put this? Leo energy has this way of expressing that inner light that I feel, of course, no other sign has, because that sun especially when you have that sun in Leo. And I find that Leo really shines when when I feel like it's talking about peaceful pursuits and happy times, doing those things that can help you relax from, maybe this is like tapping into, I think, like different skills, like pursuing, maybe if you like singing, just, you don't have to do it necessarily professionally, but making more time for just singing throughout your day. Or maybe you do want to take some sort of lessons or things along those lines to improve upon those gifts. See where that may take you there, because, the more you learn, the more you can do with it, and it just becomes more exciting. But I do think that this is paying attention to the things that, again, that's been fueling that fire, and has it, are you taking times to nurture that side of you, when you are in this state of relaxing? Because even look at this moon here is in a waning, as if we're in a waning crescent here, and just kind of reflecting on what are some maybe pursuits that you're wanting to start up now? What are some creations that you're wanting to nurture into existence? What are some dreams? This person's sleeping on this hammock. What are some dreams that you're wanting to see come to fruition here, even? And I find it's like when you're able to, when you're in that vibration, that sense of relaxation, you move with a sense of ease, and people pick up on that. And I think it becomes, because I think that Leo, especially like Aries, sure, but I think especially Leo and Sagittarius, I think that they have this way of just filling a room and just really raising the energy in a way, especially even when they're maybe not feeling at their best, but they know how to bring that stuff up, how to call it when it needs to be. And that's what I feel like maybe there's a need for a calling of more just kind of, especially if you've been maybe in this more kind of anxiety fuel, if that's what's been kind of fueling this fire as of late, or been maybe kind of quelling the fire even. But let's see what's been happening in the past here. All right, I'm liking that. Thanks, Spirit. So you got the Page of Pentacles here. And I like the Page of Pentacles, because this to me is, the pages are like kind of, I'm thinking in the Thoth deck, which is the deck I'm using this go around here to clarify. But the pages are the earthy parts, or they're known as the princesses in the Thoth deck. They're the earthy parts of the elements. And this is the earthy part of Earth here. So this is, one, we're talking about the material here with the Page of Pentacles. And if things have not been the greatest, maybe if there's been maybe a bit of tumultuous times here, it's just like, what are some pursuits that we can do to get more, to establish more peace? What are some things that we can do to feel more grounded, maybe in the chaos, possibly? Because I can get where you're wanting, we got things that we got to do. We got material things to think about. We got bills to think about. We got, how we're going to food. You got to take care of the body, all the things. But that also includes time for relaxation, because if you don't take those breaks and to find those kind of happy moments, those happy times, then you just end up burning yourself out and running yourself to the ground, in the sense, I think, with this Page of Pentacles here. And I feel like maybe in the past there's been a need to start up something here, but maybe we haven't made the time for it. But let me get a clarifier with this Page of Pentacles. Oh, well, you know what? That's a good thing it's in the past. Because you got the devil here is Capricorn. I just get the Capricorn some flag when the devil comes up. But when we're talking about the devil, this to me, the devil is when we're in this place where matter is winning over spirit. And there's been this disconnect from that higher forces. And this could be addictions, sure, but I think it's just the work as well to stay in your power, to stay in your zone is what I'm getting. Like, that's the word that I keep getting. Staying in your zone, in a sense. And like, I mean, like the zone, like your happy zone, your happy place. And the work that requires, the things that you have to balance, the work that's needed to put into it as well, when we're talking about with this. But this to me could even be, I'm getting even like maybe there was an invitation, like maybe maybe there was like an invitation. This is just an example. Like, let's say someone invited you for something and you're like, no, you know what, I can't go. Like maybe there's like an outing or something like that. And you're just like, no, I'm not really feeling it, blah, blah, blah. And then you go back and then you're just like, well, I'm not going to do anything anyway. So like, why not just go? Like, let's not see. There's something about like revisiting an invitation possibly here just to maybe help get out of a rut. You know, if there's been in this kind of past rut or something along those lines here. So that's another thing that's coming with through with this devil here, kind of clarifying the Page of Pentacles, and maybe it's just like the things that are just the things that are getting in the way of those happy times, those peaceful pursuits, and how sometimes things can start to pile on, and how we can get away from things, like just how quickly things can get out of hand is another thing that's really kind of coming up there. So let's get the present energies so you can get a little bit more clarity on this story. Okay, interesting. A lot of earth here. You got the Nine of Pentacles here. And the Nine of Pentacles, to me, this is this is putting in that work. And I feel like these pursuits, like it's like I'm getting like a don't let don't let perfect be the enemy of good here, because this is Venus in Virgo. And one thing I was reflecting on the other day with the minor cards is that where Mars, all of Mars's cards, like he has a place in each of his strengths. Like there's a Mars in Aries, a Mars in Scorpio, and a Mars in Capricorn in the minors. But Venus, so he has all his strong placements there, his domiciles and exaltation. Whereas Venus is quite the opposite. All of her cards, she has nothing in any of her places of strength, but all her weaknesses, all her cards in detriment, Venus in Aries, Venus in Scorpio, and then this one would be where Venus is in her fall, Venus in Virgo here. And so paying attention to the things that we want to attract and really working on the things that we want to attract for ourselves as well. But maybe even being more, there's maybe a level of discernment here that's coming with the Nine of Pentacles as far as like what we're taking in. That might be coming through with this devil here too. Kind of flirting here with the past. There's something that's getting in the way, but we're working towards getting out of that with with this Nine of Pentacles here. It's not getting in the way of that page energy. But let's get a clarifier on that. Ooh, wow. How fascinating. So, we're just talking about you a little bit. So, here's that Princess of Disc, which is the Page of Pentacles. So, there is, because even Capricorn, the earth sign, you have a lot of earth energy that's going on here. And I think like earth is just more than just like when we're thinking like the material things like money, the stuff that you have. This is also deals with the body. The body is a physical manifestation in this realm. And there's something about like just the creative potential, I think, that's happening here. I love this Princess of Disc. She's just pregnant with life, and even if it's she's like pouring her energy into the ground here that's fueling this barren forest here, and that she's getting ready to grow something spectacular. Yeah, that's very interesting here. Yeah, something I feel like is either calling or beckoning even. I'm thinking of that cat, the Maneki Neko. that's. Yeah, something's like maybe calling here, or just like a need to pay attention to the body. Maybe there's been a lot of pursuits for pentacles here, possibly, but maybe it's been a little uneven how it's been distributed. Maybe it's been too money focused, or maybe it's been too material focused, and they're just needing to be more kind of heart focused in a sense. But let's get some future energy here. That's very interesting. Ooh, okay, let's keep the earth theme going. Thanks, Spirit. So for your future energy here, you got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And I really feel like this is like, if all excuse me, if all the things, let's say, for example, if you've just been in this kind of grinding, hustling, doing all these things, just doing all this, like, it's okay, like, I'm not trying to say, like, you can't pursue the material things, but I think that there's something here about a balance, like taking some time for some leisurely things, something where we're creating something that, because all these material things we can't take with us, but I think that there's something deeper that's needing to happen. That's needing to happen here, or that's needing to happen in the future, or maybe even paying attention, like, maybe this could be like adjusting your schedule possibly here. Like maybe you've been like working a lot of overtime here, and maybe there's just a need to kind of pull back a little bit, a need for just like some relaxation, or maybe just even just carving in some more times to give. Maybe you're one who tends to give a lot of yourself, give a lot of, the one to take care of all the fires, to do the, maybe the parents, the whatever the whatever this is. I think it's just like making sure to give as much to yourself as you're giving to others, other situations. But let's get a clarifier on that. Okay, breaking it up with a little water. There we go. Spirit. So you have the Prince of Cups here. And the Prince of Cups, he's a very interesting one. It makes me think that it almost makes me think that one, he's maybe worried about disappointing others, because the Prince of Cups has a lot of strong feelings. He has a lot that he's dealing with, trying to keep this kind of his inner peace, finding his peaceful pursuits. And I think that there's something here that's maybe being kind of pent up a little bit here. And maybe this could be where maybe this Prince of Cups is feeling that disappointment maybe that I'm getting, is that like maybe others aren't knowing that how much maybe you give in a situation, and maybe you're not, in the fact that you're not getting that back possibly. And I think that there's maybe even a need to just communicate this, because the Prince of Cups can be very to himself. And I think there's even this like needing to make peace with that. When you pick, you can't make everyone happy, and there are times where you have to pick yourself, that you have to take some time for how you're feeling, and what you want to do, making more time for you. Why do you have to be on all of the time? because I feel that if he keeps going the way that, on that kind of same path, eventually he become resentful. Prince of Cups, like when I feel like really kind of just up, and he can get kind of nasty sometimes. So because I feel like it's like something is feeling maybe neglected too. I'm really getting that kind of strongly here too. That's what I'm really kind of feeling there. That's very interesting. Let's get some advice from the sun. Okay, Spirit. So you have the Nine of Wands here. And this to me is, is kind of standing your ground. But sometimes, like, that's interesting. I'm even getting with this. It's just, I'm getting like you can't be on all the time. That it just like, it ends up just like sapping away the strength. It just ends up, and there's just a need for some sort of balance to come through there. Like, and maybe this might be something that, maybe it could be like a thinking that other people might think that you're letting them down if you were to take a break, or that things are just going to completely fall apart if you're not there to keep everything upright. But I think that there's a need to learn that trust that maybe other people can kind of keep the balance too. That's very interesting. Or keep things in order while you take some time to just kind of rejuvenate a little bit. Fascinating. Let's get a clarifier with that. Spirit. Alright, so you got the Four of Disc here. And let's go ahead and switch back over. Because this Four of Disc, this to me is, again, you're seeing what is maybe getting in the way of what's maybe been kind of running you, like just be kind of draining you maybe a little bit. This could be a person, this could be a thing, an environment, and just needing a break from this to kind of reestablish your foundation again, getting your power, find, really kind of not just shining a light on something, but doing something about that. It's one thing to have this awareness that something is going on, but what are the next actions that are going to be taken for there? We're just going to keep staying in this thing, just kind of, I'm getting like an energy of being on guard, or I say, I'm not quite sure what that's about, that on guard thing, but either being on guard or, and this might be too, considering that this Four of Disc is the Lord of Power. To understand that, I think when we think that we're taking relaxation or we're relaxing, that we're being lazy. And there is a line, of course, where maybe you might not be doing, you just kind of become just sloth mode. But this to me is, you can, yeah, you can't just be on all the time. There has to be moments of break, moments of relaxation where you just be for a little bit, where you just kind of get back again with that oneness, connect with the body again, because you got a lot of. Yeah, with the granted, you got a little bit of water and a little fire here, but majority of this energy is very earthy. It's very heavy. That was coming through with this reading here. So it maybe just might be stress, maybe around pentacles here. So maybe that's why, like again, like pentacle things, material stuff, money, the body, things like that. There might be some anxieties here, but just again reclaiming that power, reclaiming that strength again. So yeah, just some things to consider there, but I think I'm going to leave that there. Pay attention to what's fueling that fire. But if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this if you know somebody who can get some nuggets of wisdom from this. And then subscribe there, you handsome devil, you. That's the best way I can talk about that devil. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week or each day. And then I'm going to shuffle for your surprise cards here. But also, if you want to know what's going on with the other celestial bodies, the chit-chat that's going on up in the sky, down in the description box is a link for my other channel, to Alchemist 8. And I do weekly videos there talking about just that and how we can set intentions there, what are some things to look out for, and how to thinking about comparing what's going on around compared to what's going on in your chart. Really good stuff. So definitely check that out if that's interested with you. But let's go ahead and talk about your general energy or your surprise card here, because you have an equal eye card here. And an equal eye, oh, how interesting. Oh no, that's the 60. That's a tower energy. But an equal eye is this is the concept that everything has like a higher and a lower expression. And I think that it's weighing it's really looking at something with very clearly. It's like, okay, if I continue on the way that I'm going, how is this going to go? And really looking at that realistically, especially if we find ourselves, the devil's doing something strange here. There's something in the past that maybe had been brewing up that maybe is kind of, because the fact that he showed up there, so he has the potential to show up again. Devil's funny like that. He has an interesting way of helping us grow. But I think that it's like, do we want to continue that way? Or, what would, maybe it would be nice to have that kind of balance, where to have like some sort of like relaxation in a sense, to make more times for happiness. And maybe even this equal eye can even be where we're talking about these happy times is because maybe there's this tendency to see just like the worst in things, or just like that, every time I try to do this, then like something just always throws this off. And it's like life does, if you follow this channel, the moon does her thing. Things wax and wane all the time. And I think it's just like really trying to find the waves in that. Like, for example, I know that and I told someone this, when I was in a situation, and I was like, listen, I understand what's going on, but we need to get this figured out before Scorpio season gets here, because when it does, you're not. I may not be as pleasant, and it was overall fine, but it's just like, because I've been feeling a lot. I tend to feel a lot in Scorpio. I mean, we all do, but it's just like because there's just so much squares that are going on in my chart. And yeah, that's just something here, just about yeah, considering both sides of things, for sure. And even just like maybe even giving that things can change, something along those lines. I think I'm going to leave that there. Something to meditate on. But until next time, keep eyes on that moon, raising that consciousness through the roof. And I will catch you on the next one, Jupiter Day.